Welcome back to the Weekly Pass. If you don't know, Manu Ginobili retires, OBJ gets paid, and some NFL cuts coming up this weekend. All that and more coming up next.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome back to the Weekly Pass. I'm BonnieJill Laflin, your host, and I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts Becky Sotero and David Bloom.
Hello.
You can find us on Twitter at BJL Weekly Pass, and of course our individual Twitter, social media, everything. We're on that. David, not so much. He's on it, but he doesn't really do a lot.
I'm sorry. I'll be active. I'm busy.
So a lot going on in sports, as always. I don't know. I mean, it's just a lot of kind of a little bit of a depressing things that have happened. What happened with the Madden tournament in Jacksonville was horrific. 2 gamers passed away. I don't like to bring up bad stuff, but we do have to mention it.
We do.
It was very upsetting to hear. I mean, anytime, you now with social media, you get things, as they come in, and to see that another shooting.
It's horrible.
It just won't stop.
Yeah,
No,
it doesn't stop.
Yeah, you really can't go anywhere without worrying about it.
When I first found out about it, I'm like, oh, what was the motive? Just thinking maybe there was some other motive. His motive was that he didn't win.
Yeah. And there are certain people in this world that are just, like, mentally just, and I mean, there are people with mental problems galore. I know I have my few, but there are people who some people just have these urges, and every time I hear about one of these, it just shakes me to my core.
Yeah, it does. And it's crazy because he went home and then came back.
It's
and
horrible.
had a gun. So I haven't, researched enough to know, because of course he probably got it from a family member or friend or something, right?
I mean, my
sure.
thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by it.
It was a tournament that they would then advance to go to Vegas. There wasn't a lot of stake. It was $500. So I'm kind of shocked that,
Well, like you said, David, I think it's just about people aren't firing on all cylinders.
It's either 500 or
voices
5,000. I could be wrong, but it wasn't like.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was 150,000. It's like, and this guy, I'm not making an excuse that maybe it was going to change his life or something was going on, but no, it was just minute. So again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families and all the different victims that were there and were affected by it. Another news: Senator McCain passed away, who was actually a good friend of mine. So I've been. Depressed on my own about that. A very good man. I was at Capitol Hill many times, and he helped me with a lot of animal welfare and bills for our veterans. So it was really sad to see that his fight with cancer finally ended. And if you guys have seen the outpouring of support from not just Arizona athletes, but across the nation. Yeah. And then Larry Fitzgerald has been asked by Cindy McCain to speak at John's Memorial this Thursday. And also someone that you probably may know, Shane Doan, who is a Coyote, former Coyote. He'll be a pallbearer, and then Luis Gonzalez, the D-back, will be a pallbearer as well.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, what a warrior. It doesn't matter what party you support, you have to support what he did for our country.
A POW, a prisoner of war, the stuff that other people have said about him in the past, and I won't even bring up his name, but our commander-in-chief has said some things that are, really upsetting about John McCain, and so it's sad that finally his legacy.
Yeah, and I knew he had brain cancer, right?
And he's been fighting that for a long time.
And he stopped the treatment, but he just
he stopped
like
the treatment
so
and
quickly.
Then he already knew he was at the end.
It's a weird mental state just to be in, just to know you're just done.
And if you look at Meghan McCain's Twitter or Instagram, I've actually reposted as well, you can see his full statement and how he said, I lived and died as a proud American. And he is the epitome of a classy American, a patriot, everything, a war hero. So you can see the actual statement.
We'll make sure to retweet that on our Twitter, everybody, if you'll follow BJL Weekly Pass.
So I think it's nice. And the outpouring support that people have been giving the McCain family, and my good friend Grant Woods, who is his best friend and chief of staff, and actually my attorney, he is, it's hard. It's hard for family, whether it's expected or not. So anyways, and I've had people saying things to me, so thank you for that. But I did have to bring that up and spend a minute just, honoring him. And other news, unless you've been hidden under a rock, OBJ gets paid.
He's getting money.
Finally.
And it's so funny because we discussed on the show when he had that off the field problem where he was, in bed with that girl. Do you remember that whole thing?
Yes.
She posted him.
Yeah.
And remember everyone was on Snapchat and it was like, okay, is he going to get in trouble for, the drugs, the whole situation, and was that going to affect his salary? Because even Michael Irvin had come on and said it could. He wants to be the highest paid, not just receiver, the highest paid player in the NFL.
Sure. And he is.
He is.
5 years, 95 million is a good way to start.
And 65 million guaranteed,
Oh,
which in the NFL is never really heard of. So crazy. And he's been waiting almost 2 years to get this extension, to get this contract.
I mean, he
and
feels like he earns it. He feels like he has.
He does earn it, though. He's one of the best wide receivers, and also he's in company
Antonio
with Jerry
Brown
Rice,
is the best receiver in the
Oh
league
yes,
right
he
now.
is. Of course, he is for the Steelers.
but it's crazy, right? That now OBJ.
I mean, it's crazy that the Giants are willing to throw that much money at him. The Giants, they've been falling off. They went 3-13 last year. They just drafted Saquon
and they had so many
Barkley.
injuries with him included.
Exactly. I mean, the last time they went to the playoffs, they lost to the Packers in 2016. They tried to rebuild. They got
but don't you
Marshall
think?
got hurt. It just
Eli's not at his peak, so
Eli
I think that they've got to put their energy in
let's talk
forefront
about
in something.
That Super Bowl commercial is one of the best.
Yeah.
okay. That Super Bowl commercial is one of
The
the
Dirty
best.
Dancing commercial, Super Bowl commercial with
Hands
those
down.
two
Hands
was
down.
so
Hands
fantastic.
down. Well, at least we know he has a career in commercials.
I
when
mean,
his
they were
career's
just
over.
spot on with the routine.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Good job, Eli.
But I mean, I
Good
feel like
commercials.
it was a great investment for the Giants for that reason too. They've got to be able to have that player that can.
And from
be
what I've been
substantial.
seeing from the Giants fans is they're ecstatic. They're happy that he's going to, end up, with the
guess
Giants
so.
and retiring probably as a Giant and
I
so
just
forth. So
feel like with an arm with Eli, like at quarterback running the show, I feel like it's just a waste for him in his career. Like nothing. Okay, I was about to say
Yeah,
nothing
it's the
against
pairing
Eli.
of the quarterback and
But
I see
there's
what
a
you're
lot against Eli. Eli can do it in random situations. A couple years ago, twice versus the Patriots.
well, and he's been on the hot seat for a while,
and he's
not
not-
knowing what his kind of
Yeah, and he's
destiny
not
is
the
with-
type of
and what's going to
guy-
happen with the team.
He's not the type of guy to be able to be an elite quarterback that OBJ needs.
Yep.
And they've tried to replace him with guys like I know Geno Smith that failed miserably. So now they just kind of got to sit back and I really think they're going to go a lot to their
I would
run
have
game
loved
this
to
year.
have seen
Yes.
him as a Cowboy at some point. Dak to OBJ.
I was thinking that too. It's like he
now.
needs a great quarterback for that. That pairing is
Yeah.
so crucial. But I mean, maybe in a couple years we don't know what.
Right, but congrats to
Good
OBJ
cycle.
getting paid.
Good job.
Right?
Also, let's talk about. I have no idea who these people are, but they're these YouTubers, I guess.
David will let us know.
That
Is this
were
my youth
in
millennial segment?
I don't even
No,
know
not
if it was a martial arts or boxing match. Logan Paul, I guess his name, in KS1.
You're right.
Yes,
KSI.
45
KSI,
million.
see, that's how much I know. I say KS1. I don't know who he is. I'm not really impressed by people who have no talent who make money, but
Amen,
I'll leave
sister.
it at that.
Oh.
So I don't understand why they thought why this
Yeah.
was,
Alright.
and I'm not UFC, but a diehard boxing fan. Don't
Sure.
insult the sport. Don't, you know what I mean? Like,
Preach it.
Why is
And
it? It's like a mockery,
and
right?
Can we say
Becky?
at the top? Yes, and at the top of this, let's talk about $45 million. Like you said,
Is
why
that
are
how
we
much?
paying in U.S. dollars? Yes. So why?
I know it was in Manchester, in London,
35
so pounds. Yeah.
Yes, 35
Oh
million.
my gosh!
I'm-
it's like I don't know. I just to me, I
Me
get
too.
so
I'm
mad.
again. I'm
It's
in
all-
your same boat.
It's
So here
very-
it is. And okay, let's just say you don't know anything about boxing. You may say, "Oh, yeah, okay, they're this is a legitimate fight." Except you see that they've got the headgear,
Yeah.
which to me it looks like they're sparring.
Headgear.
Yeah.
But or Golden Gloves fight. So, okay, you explain who these idiots are.
All right. I mean, first thing I'm gonna say about the sport is if you watch them box, they have their hands down the entire time.
And I box, and so you always keep your
entire
hands.
time.
I'm a
Such an
southpaw,
insult.
but
You
my-
keep them right here. I'm a southpaw too.
Are you okay?
You keep them right here. They had them here, almost like it was a mixed martial arts fight, but it obviously like when if anyone saw the Floyd McGregor fight, McGregor hands like right here.
And speaking of McGregor, this Paul dude, whatever I'm not going to say his name again, he called out Conor McGregor, like, are you
Stop
kidding
it.
me? Like, oh,
I didn't
please
know
do
that.
it so he can just rip him and shred him and kill
Right.
him.
So basically, who these people
Like,
are?
if you destroy him, right?
I
Like,
know. Yeah.
No doubt.
But he's just looking for attention
I
for
know.
someone like Conor to
Drama.
like
They
apply.
love
Yes.
being mentioned, but basically, who these people are is they make videos on YouTube, and
Okay.
they're what we like to call Influencer, and I'm trying to
But
offend.
isn't he the one that disrespected
Oh,
the
yes,
suicide
he
force
is.
in Japan?
For those who aren't aware, earlier this year,
That's the only reason I knew of this guy.
Logan Paul went to the a forest where a lot of people go
In Japan.
in Japan to commit suicide, and they were just filming a funky little vlog in Japan. Oh wow! And they found a dead body hanging. And instead of cutting and nothing, they blurred the body.
And then he started making fun
and
or something.
He made fun of it. He was like laughing, like, "Oh my god, I've never seen a dead body. Film me, film my reaction." It's for views. He wanted to get views, and I don't think he
but
expected
then he
a backlash.
apologized, but he didn't apologize. He said he
Every
felt bad. But the only
apology like
reason,
that is
anytime
fake.
people apologize because they got caught and they,
I'm
they
so
don't, they
sorry.
don't, it's
My
not
actions will
genuine
never
or
happen
authentic.
again.
Also, I want to comment that, like, yes, they're putting out this ridiculous content, but it's our fault as viewers for
I don't look at that
legitimizing
stuff.
the content.
Yeah.
Just
Gen
like
Xers.
No, no, you don't look at
Gen
that.
I don't look at
I don't
that.
watch
I didn't know who
Logan
they
Paul.
were.
Don't think I
it's
do.
the parents.
Sorry,
why are
I'm spilling
parents?
the tea.
Why are parents allowing their kids to look at flunkies like them or the
Yes.
Kardashians? Like, stop, everyone.
That's what I.
Oh, it's a parenting
Stop.
thing.
Am I right, Becky? Don't
are-
let them look at these people and look up to them.
I
That's
felt that way
wrong.
about the Kardashians for a
Oh,
long time.
I
I'm
can't
like,
even stand those people. I'm sorry. I can't stand them.
No, I mean,
So-
I know we're not like a pop culture, and we'll let you finish. I'm sorry, we're not a pop culture show. We're talking about sports, but it's the fact that, like, again,
Well,
you-
again, stop making. What is that quote you see? Stop making dumb people famous or something like that.
yes,
Something like that. But
Yes,
yeah.
but I guess we as a culture just obsess over this absurdity, and we get
we
lost
do.
in it.
I don't.
I mean, we love to watch drama.
I don't either.
And these people, KSI, he did
So
video game
who?
videos
So
for
who
a lot.
won?
It was a majority draw.
Oh, majority
3
draw.
judges. It went 6 rounds. It was for a fight. It was not that bad of a fight, but for a result, it was so disappointing to see one judge scored it a point for KSI. The rest of the judges tied it majority draw. And they're like, "Oh, let's do a rematch. It's just for the views. It's just for the money. It's just for the drama." That's all pretty much what YouTube is. And what these guys do is, I'll speak more on the Paul brothers because those are the ones who I just have no respect for, is they're arrogant, insensitive, almost pretty much talentless, and they make, I know this affects nothing, but they make the worst music.
And now this
Come on.
is a career that he's trying to get into. He's saying he wants to be a UFC
he wants
fighter.
to
Is there
rein-
anything valid about that?
He wants to reinvent his image. I mean,
Okay.
he's not going to be a UFC fighter.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jake Paul, excuse me, called out Chris Brown.
I saw that. I know.
Like, these people are, they're not very
attention.
bright.
It was
Yeah, for
kind of.
attention.
It was like hilarious. I didn't even know who these people were, and then I'm like, okay.
Well, now you do. Congratulations.
And
That's
then-
their point.
right.
They're
And-
trying to make everyone know. Even the boxing world.
Exactly.
Absurdity.
And keeping in the boxing talk, I don't know if you guys saw, but Curtis Harper on FS1, there was a fight against the Nigerian F.A. Ajagaba, I think is his name, and it was a fight in Minnesota. And when I watched it, when I saw the preview, it looked like he was threatened by his size. Because look at this, right?
Yeah.
Marissa can bring up the video.
Dang.
It looked like,
hilarious.
and then the bell rings and he walks out. So I was like, oh, he must be scared. No, I mean, when you could reverse
Yes.
thing, I'm like, oh, he's like, okay, I feel undersized, and let me just, because people were making fun, like, okay, of
course.
He was like, oh, I'm good, I'm out, right? But what it really is, and Marissa will pull this up right now. You can see that.
It is a heavyweight matchup. I'm going to let you know when that man fights F.A. Ajagba, do not blink. Of his 5 professional bouts, 4
This
of
is
them have
boxing,
been
though.
done
This is what boxing
in
should
the
start
Should be.
out as.
Yes, exactly.
And not headgear and YouTubers.
No.
And I'm out. And then I go, wait, maybe something's wrong, or maybe
I've never seen this before.
I have never seen this
No.
before. I watch a lot of boxing.
Everyone has said it's new.
I've never seen this before in my life.
So then I end up doing the research, and he is upset because he wasn't getting paid as much as his opponent.
So this was a public. He went into this knowing he was going to walk out.
And so his trainer went out on social media saying he was, I'm sorry to the fans. I'm embarrassed. Like,
Sure.
because why did you even show up?
To walk
Because
out.
now he's not going to get paid at all.
No.
So what's the point?
What does he think he's going to gain?
And
from
who
that?
is he? Like, what? People talk about him for what? Right now? And that's it.
No
And
press
everyone's
is
done.
all press is good press.
Is it though?
No,
because I
it's
think
not.
because I think it's
No.
kind of embarrassing.
Absolutely,
What do you guys
it is.
think?
Nobody's going to take him serious. Again, the training, all the ticket sales. I mean, who's
Right, and I think he's now going to be suspended for a couple years.
Sure.
So then he
Probably.
can't fight. Like, did he look at the long?
I
you're
mean,
not respecting the sport. You show
Right.
up, you do the job.
I think he likes that people are talking about him now, though. Like they're mentioning his name now.
But then tomorrow they don't, and then what happens in 2 years?
You know what? Give him a day. Let him have his 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I just thought it was and that was keeping with
Our
the
chat
boxing.
agrees.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. And then Tom Brady was on the radio with I forgot what show it was. You saw and
Yes,
heard this,
I
right?
actually think his reaction was amazing.
And
Yeah.
I didn't hear exactly, but I just saw that he hung up on the host because
Yeah.
they mentioned again his trainer, right?
And again, these questions have to keep being answered by journalists, and he has to be
and
prepared.
they know though not to
Yes.
ask.
No, but I'm from a journalistic
But
side. Ask the questions, and he needs to be prepared on how to answer those questions, and he's not.
But just like David said, again, that host knew he wasn't supposed to ask that, but now we're talking about him. I don't even know who it is.
I don't know.
but
I guess I
Yeah.
come from a side where like the questions should be asked. They should be brought to the forefront.
that he needs to just, even if it's generic, answer it. You mean?
Yes, and he just kind of averted
But he's Tom
it.
Brady.
He is.
I mean, he is Tom Brady, and he can use that to
Well,
his
and
advantage.
he's not going to go against Belichick. Like they're the best combo in NFL history. Like they're not going to go against each other. And we know that the history of this is from Belichick. That's why that confrontation is there. So he just may not know how to handle it, but figure it out. You're going to keep every time you get interviewed, you're going to be answering.
And why is he even
asked
doing
this.
interviews then?
Exactly. That's the common denominator.
give a
question.
gracious
Was it a
answer.
Boston show?
Yes, it was a Boston show. But the issue that has been surfacing is, yes, why is he taking these interviews when
just
when
wouldn't
he
do any of
knows
it.
this is going to be asked and people want answers? You can't just keep averting it.
That
But he
seems
is Tom Brady.
like a question for him to ignore.
Right, but then don't take the interview because you're going to keep being asked it, and
Yeah,
there needs to
it's-
be answers. So
it's just-
I think it's
it's-
hilarious. But he handled it well. He's like, all right, guys,
And with
talk
that,
to you
was
later.
this yesterday?
Yeah. He was like, I'll talk to you about
He's
it.
done that
Talk
before.
to you later. Yeah, I think
like
yesterday
every
morning.
time that.
So did he just hang up,
walks
or
out.
did he?
No, they kept persisting in the question.
And then
being
when- and then he
persistent.
just said it
And
out.
he's like, all right, guys, well, it's been good. We'll talk to you later. Like, that
Oh,
was
okay.
it.
So he didn't just hang up.
No, not
the-
at all.
No,
The headline
he's
made it
a
look
little
like he
more,
was-
little
Yes.
more gracious than that, but
He
not
was gracious.
I mean, you could have gone like just given a generic answer, but you know what? As much as you want them to be prepared to answer the questions, he is a person, and if he feels like a question is just getting too much for him, he's allowed to not answer it. I know he's some like all-star, Pro Bowl
Yeah.
or Super Bowl
Future Hall of
winning,
Famer.
future Hall of Fame quarterback, but
One of the best to play it. Yeah.
exactly, he's still a person, and he's still allowed to just say, "I don't want to answer that question. How
Right.
dare you ask me that?"
Right. I just
Like,
think
that's
he needs to
allowed.
stop doing those. Those is,
I mean, it's how the media is. They keep asking and asking until they get an answer.
And then it's
going
going
to
to happen when he has to do, because he's required to do the post game pressers. Someone's going to ask him.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Yeah, it'll happen.
So-
It's
There
just,
just needs to be an articulate way for him to answer and just keep
Just
giving the same
but
answer.
just vague, right?
Just
And very
vague,
like
vague.
rehearsed.
brevity,
Right.
brevity. Like it doesn't matter.
give a robotic rehearsed answer.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. A rehearsed
We've all
answer.
been taught that.
Something that was funny that happened here in Los Angeles is Justin Verlander was back in Los Angeles, and he was at the Beverly. Was it the Beverly Hilton or the Beverly Hill?
No.
Hills
I'll
Hotel.
figure it out.
And so he had breakfast there. Okay. It was at. I can't read that. What is that?
Beverly Hills Hotel.
Okay,
Yep.
it was. Okay, so it was the Beverly
Dodger
Hills
Hotel.
Beverly Hills Hotel.
So they put, I thought it was hilarious, and that he even tweeted it out, that the waiter ended up adding $1 million for being a Dodger killer. As you know, we all know he was
Yes,
like
I love
just
it.
filthy in the World Series, Verlander, and knocked the Dodgers out of winning a championship. So it was funny, and he took it lightly. But a lot of people, what they were more concerned about was not that, but people were saying, why is he spending $35 on pancakes?
I saw
Or
that.
$42
There was
for
about
a salad.
$40
That's what I
salad.
saw. I
And
was
I'm
like,
Oh, really? Because I didn't even see. Okay, right.
Yeah, there was about a $40 salad. I'm like, I guess if you win the World Series and are Justin Verlander, you can do
Maybe.
that.
It's
but
also, if anyone's been there, it's gorgeous, and so you're
I mean,
LA. It's the ambiance. It's the whole
allure
thing.
to buy a
course.
$40 salad.
Of course. However, I will say maybe it was like premium pecans or something. I don't know because I mean, come on, $42.
Yes,
But
thank
I just
God.
thought it was-
Premium pecans for my $42 salad.
I thought it was so funny how many people were so like irate about why is he
We're looking
spending
at the rest of the
$30 on
bill.
That's the first thing I saw, and I'm like, Dodger killer. Wait, why is there a $42 salad?
Yes, I probably would. I think I actually bypassed the actual $1 million part and went
I
right
didn't
to this.
even-
I'm a
I
salad
barely
connoisseur,
realized.
so
Wait, Marissa, bring it up again. Did he leave a good tip?
I know.
That's all I care about.
I mean, he was in good spirits about it. I know if you win a World Series,
Yeah,
you would be in good
I
spirits.
can't. I bet. Oh wait, you can't see where he signed it.
oh, he's smart. Yeah.
Smart. I mean, I don't know pitcher stuck on the
Yeah,
Tigers that would
it's
want to do this.
it's not 2 salads, it's one, $42.
Exactly, and the
Yeah, no.
cranberry juice
okay.
is $10. Like I can
I'm
go
not-
buy me some ocean
But
spray
see,
for $1.99.
I've seen these kind of, I mean, you know, when you stay at
No,
these
of
certain places, you
course.
see these and you're like, really? Like granola and yogurt? Why is this 20
Oh
bucks?
my gosh! I went
Because
to Palm
Justin
Springs with my
Verlander's
friends
gonna
on
go buy
Saturday,
it.
you guys. And by the way,
Especially if it's room service, too.
yes.
Oh my God.
In one, yeah, I won't go over the bill, but we went to a very nice place, and it was like tapas, and then we spent like $100 on 2 things. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, Palm Springs for the win.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, you go to these restaurants, you know, you're.
But
gonna
he
be
took it
paying
in
premium.
good fun, and I thought it was.
Yeah, good for him and his $42 salary.
It's all in the reaction.
Oh, I think it was for 2 people, though. It looked like, right? It was him and Kate. Was it him and Kate?
Yeah, but like the salad is one salad.
How big was the salad?
Listen
for it
to
be...
us.
Oh my
What
God.
does our chat
Confessing
think about
over
the $42 salad?
They have not commented yet, but they definitely think Logan Paul is a waste of space, and that he's a joke.
Again, I'm just surprised that we even like know who these people are and
Yeah.
or that are now in the sports world. Not really.
No.
technically, but
It's a
enough
blip.
for us
It's
to
a
talk
blip.
about, but not enough for us to be like, so did you see the Logan KSI fight? What are your thoughts on the fight as a whole and these fight? No, absolutely
it's funny.
not.
Out of all the things we talked about, the chat, you know, is
Yeah.
concerned about this. They're doing a rematch though? Because I didn't
They
touch
will.
on that, but you
Oh,
said
I'm
they
sure.
are going to.
At the end of the fight, KSI was like, let's have a rematch, and Logan was like, let's have a... He used some curse words that I really don't feel like saying right now.
No, what is it? Is this
Let's
12?
have a rematch.
Is this 12 rounds? What is this? Do you know how
6
many rounds?
round,
Oh, 6 rounds.
6 round fight. They're probably
Okay.
going to do another one in the U.S., make more money.
Are they
make more
3-minute
drama.
rounds or what are they?
I think they're probably 3 minutes. I wasn't.
I don't know.
I didn't pay $10 to watch the fight. I watched
But
it.
he did watch it.
I watched
David
it
told me
on
he watched
stream.
it.
By the way,
Periscope.
Star Drew on our chat was like, maybe this salad is a 6-pound salad. Possibly.
You know
maybe
what?
that's a salad where you can like take it home.
Or
for
maybe
the whole
there was
week.
a lot. It was you're thinking just baby greens. I know we're all over the map today. Sorry, but we're going back now to the salad thing.
Oh,
maybe
no, I'm
it
a
was
salad connoisseur.
But maybe it
I'd
wasn't
never have
just
spent
like a baby
$42.
greens. Maybe it had like artichokes.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
a lot of
Premium
stuff.
pecans, strawberries picked from like Venezuela. I don't know.
It feels like, is it good enough? Is it a
Picked
good enough
right
salad?
before and then put in
is
the
it a good
salad?
enough salad for $42 for it not to be like this big for you to just take home and eat the entire
what's so
week?
funny about this conversation is we live in LA. Like this is not.
This is
an
totally
abnormal thing.
normal.
Like
We
a
could go
dinner
get
at
a $42
Nobu is
salad.
like $600.
No, it's so normal. Like that's you know what that's what's sad, right?
Yeah.
Is how normal it is.
Well, but see, I'm also just a person that was raised very humbly. Like,
Yeah.
I even if I had
Right
that
there,
kind
yep.
of money, I don't think I would
See,
ever want to be.
I'm one of
living
those people
the
that
posh
was
life.
Cracker Barrel, like
Yes.
Chili's. Like I'm totally fine. Like I mean, yeah,
Yes.
I go to these places all the time, but
Sure.
I'm the one that when I look at it, I'm like, ugh, it's too frou-frou and there's too much stuff on it, and now I don't like it. I just give me like a real food.
That's what I
don't
was
know.
saying. Is like our dinner on Saturday was like nothing. It was like just
But
little
some
bits.
people love that, especially in LA.
Yeah.
Like the foodies, that's like a big,
Yeah.
It's
big
like, oh.
deal.
People are crazy
Absolutely.
here.
Moving
Good
on.
Good stuff. The salad dressing is made from tears of children. Our chat is amazing.
Oh, that's so sad. Tears of children. Oh my God. Children from where?
I know. the babies who are at home in Los Angeles mansions in Malibu.
Oh my God.
Before we get into Manu retiring, there was talk, a little bit of Celtics talk, that Hayward and Irving are completely ready, recovered and ready, and will be at camp.
They're gonna be good.
training
Fabulous.
camp. So I think that's exciting. I'm not obviously a Celtics fan, but
Yeah.
I am a Hayward and Irving fan, and I hated the fact when they were both injured because the
I'm
playoffs just it was
So
you know
excited
It's gonna
to
be
see
so
them play
exciting for
together.
them. Yeah.
Let me just quickly switch back to sports mode. I was on salad mode for a
Yes,
second.
me too. I'm still there. I'm
But
hungry.
I'm really excited to see them play together. It was like it just hurt me to see Gordon Hayward go down with an injury in the first game, and I'm pretty
and
sure
it was
the first
and it was a
quarter.
very horrific
oh,
injury.
It was so horrible to watch.
Any of you saw it, it was one of those where you're just like your heart breaks.
Yes.
I want to see them own the East, though.
chills
I'm
thinking about
ready
it.
to see Kyrie Irving because I
But
know
see,
he
I
can
wanted
take over.
I wanted
wanna
LeBron
see,
to be in the East, so then it would have
Well,
been
now
more.
LeBron's on the Lakers, so
I
congratulations.
know.
I know, but I wanted that. I think we all did. If you're a basketball fan, you wanted the
balance.
Kyrie and
Yeah.
LeBron to go head to head in
Yeah, I want
the
that too.
Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I mean?
and
At
the
the time.
and the balance between the East and the West, because we just know the West is so dominant. The Celtics are really going to be the only team that can.
I mean,
Give them a run for their
don't
money.
sleep on the Raptors.
I know.
Do not
You
sleep on the
you say
Raptors now
all
that
the
they have
time.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi.
And they're trying to do the Paul George where they sign him for more, and Kawhi's opening up to
Fair
it.
enough.
I will not let anyone sleep on the Raptors. I would used to.
Are you a Raptors fan now?
I'm not a Raptors fan. but
You
I'm
talk
not,
like you're a
I'm
Raptors fan.
talking like I
Dang.
love the Raptors and I'm love
He's
the
jumping
North.
off the Clippers.
Oh, I could never. But I'm just saying, Kawhi Leonard if he plays, he's a hell of a player.
Oh, he's the best two-way
And
player in the league.
Exactly. I would say he's a much higher talent than DeMar DeRozan, and what he can do for that Raptors
I agree
team
with
Yes,
that,
yes,
for
is
sure.
going to be, because that Spurs team is.
Oh, look. See?
There you
Aw,
go.
sweeties.
That Spurs team is kind of. I mean, they're not what they used to be with. You're welcome for the segue with Manu Ginobili retiring.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Manu, I mean,
End of an era right here.
Yeah.
I'm
Parker
actually
and
really
Charlotte.
sad. I really wanted to see if he was going to play this 17th season. I mean, he played 23 seasons because he played his time in Argentina and Italy.
Amazing.
4-time NBA champion, 2-time NBA All-Star, Olympic gold medalist for Argentina, his home country, and EuroLeague MVP. I mean, watching this guy, I think he's one of the best slashers ever. So exciting to watch. At his age, what he was still able to do was phenomenal.
Remarkable.
And the respect he has across the league. It's sad. I'm actually sad
I'm-
to see him go.
Yeah.
And for the Spurs, I mean, it's, gosh, you just look at like
They got-
what Pop had, and
Yeah.
Duncan retired, and Parker and Charlotte, and
Manu's done.
and Kawhi. We
Kawhi,
just spoke about Kawhi, and now Manu. It's like that. That core Spurs is gone.
It's a new
Totally new
core
era for the Spurs,
and it's
yeah.
a new
Which
era
we know they
with-
did it before when when all of a sudden Robinson was gone.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
and the rest. But now here we go again.
But they survived the ending of the Twin Towers so well by getting guys like Tony Parker and Manu and building them up and allowing them to play with Duncan, because Duncan was kind of like this, like almost this like side piece to Robinson. And then all of a sudden, Duncan had to be the team leader, and was he a team leader? He could play like no other, and the way he just used fundamentals.
But he was a silent leader, though.
He
You know what I mean?
was a silent
And I
leader.
like guys like that. That's why I always
Yes,
like the
yes.
Spurs. I'm not a Spurs fan, but I always liked the Spurs because I thought those guys were very humble. And I
Yes.
liked the way they played. They showed what they could do on the court. They didn't need
Yeah,
to
they let
mouth
their
off.
talent speak
No,
for
they
itself.
Yeah, and I just think they were all around classy guys.
And they all kind of had their thing. Tim Duncan had his bang shot. Manu Ginobili had his Euro step. Tony Parker had his floaters.
Yep.
They all really gelled
Well,
together.
they had unique pieces, exactly. They gelled together.
And
But-
they were all just unique people, and they just played so well.
But where do
under
the
Pop.
Spurs, for people that are asking, where do the Spurs go from here? You know what I mean? How do they rebuild that?
I mean, it's crazy to
called-
see. I mean, they still, LaMarcus Aldridge and Gasol and Gay. They've got
They've
and
got-
Bellinelli. So they've got
right, Bellinelli,
Yeah.
Marco
So they
Bellinelli.
still, they're still in it, and they, and then you look at who is leading the charge there is Pop. But it's been hard for Pop too. His wife passed away. I start to wonder, is he maybe starting to check out? You know what I mean? As in, because, personal issues, and then his team, some of the guys that, he's, been coaching for so long are gone. It's,
sure.
You know what I mean by that? It's just
Yeah,
like
no, I
kind of,
get you.
it's like the handing off of the torch, and again, Pop, I mean, he's,
And he's-
up there respected like the Phil Jackson.
Oh,
And he's,
oh,
Greatest
Absolutely.
active coach of
Yes.
greatest active coach right now.
Yeah.
I think that he's just kind of understanding that he's about to leave this league, and he probably wants to coach.
But he
'cause
leaves,
loves coaching,
a
but
legacy. I mean,
Of course,
Yes.
an amazing legacy that's going to be really hard to top. And I mean, the Spurs, what they just got to kind of do now is play the old trust in DeMar DeRozan game, which
Right.
doesn't really work if you look in Toronto.
But it's crazy though, because you always think about the Spurs and working in the NBA for so long. They were the team that always no one spoke about, media never talked about, because they were
'Cause
that humble
they were classy.
team and classy.
Sure.
They'd fly under the radar, and all of a sudden they're in it again. And here
Yes.
comes the Spurs. They're that team that no one ever talked about. Think about that. For
Yeah,
a year,
they are.
even every year they won it,
Yeah.
they were the team that beginning of the year no one spoke
They're
about.
not
even
a
when they
tabloid
would,
team.
Even though when they would win a championship, no one talked about them.
Sure.
I know they're a small market at San Antonio, which is part of the problem, but it was just amazing to me. Year after year, the media would never,
Yep.
ever talk about the
But
Spurs.
I kind of love that. I mean, it's like that's why I said they're not a tabloid team. Like they don't need all the drama, and they're still good.
The most drama they got was when Tony Parker was dating, I don't even know that
like a-
actress girl.
someone.
Yeah, she's
yeah.
like a model.
Eva Longoria.
Thank you.
There it is,
Thank
Eva
Eva
Longoria.
Longoria. I'm so bad
And
at my
it's-
pop culture.
Yeah,
Yeah, Eva
I
Longoria.
thought she was a model too. I don't know.
The Desperate Housewife girl,
Yeah,
right?
she started
Marissa?
out like exotic model.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the only time I felt like they had like some TMZ, like, you
Yeah.
know, but other than that, they, just a class act team,
Yeah.
Pop, everyone. So I was sad to see, because we all know Ginobili could play again. He could play
so
another
good.
season.
But
Sure.
if he feels that he wants to retire. I think.
Well,
I mean,
this-
of course, he has every right.
I wonder
but, like,
what really sparked it. Like, what was
Well,
the?
you know that he's been practicing and he's been at the facility going hard and shooting and. So I mean, maybe sometimes you have to think. Maybe I don't want to be selfish because I'm not as hungry. I'm not as passionate.
Yeah.
I don't want to be.
Or he just feels his body is just changing. And
Yeah, I mean, he still has. I mean, his shot's still there, and he still has certain plays where he drives to the hole and dunks the ball at 40.
Yeah.
So he could still do a lot. His Euro step's still there. I mean, he's not as good as he was because that's how age works, but he's still able to play. So it is kind of sad to see him go now. Not like a guy like when we saw Kobe go. We all knew, even though he showed up in his last game, we all knew he was ready to go.
And I actually, there was talk about Ginobili not coming back last season, right?
Exactly, but he
so
came
it's
back.
kind of been that slowly where you kind of were waiting for him to finally say,
He's gonna
I'm
be. I
good.
think him, Parker, and Duncan are gonna be cemented in Spurs in the Spurs legacy for ages and decades,
Well,
and
forever.
centuries to
They're
come.
they're history. They're the history of that league,
Exactly.
of that team, and yeah, they're
The chat wants him to
legends
go to the
of
Big
Spurs.
Three.
Oh gosh, yeah.
See,
That's,
Good call,
everyone
Bernard.
loves that about the Big Three. You can still continue to watch these guys play.
Sure.
I mean, yeah.
That's a good thing. I wonder if
know.
I
That
wonder
could
if
be
you
fun.
would though. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of players who didn't really have a glorious NBA career went there, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, I remember him."
Yeah.
Right.
I want to go watch
It's not
that.
the big stars yet.
No.
Like even Kobe said he's not going to play in it. It's
Right.
not
No.
this-
Right.
So I put Ginobili up there. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
kind of too good for it. I don't know.
But like
I'm
when
just
you see,
saying.
fun.
like when you
maybe.
see a guy like Ryan Anderson, you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God,
Yeah.
I completely forgot about you,
Right.
Birdman. Where'd you go?"
By the way, I
Chris
love-
Anderson.
Chris Anderson.
I love-
Ryan Anderson's still in the
Ryan
league.
Anderson is. I apologize, Ryan Anderson. I know
Like,
you're
he's still- he's
chucking
still-
up threes.
He's still in the league, but yeah, Chris
Anderson.
Right.
That's what I
Well,
meant.
and I love that Kobe, to speak on him for a minute, I love that he's like, I'm now going back. There's
No.
much more past that.
How
I
about-
love that.
How about people say, "Oh, Kobe's going to come back and play for the Lakers
Everybody
because of
wants
LBJ"?
that,
I'm
but
like,
there's no way. And I love that he's got this stance of, no, there's so much more past basketball. Like,
Yeah.
we've got more to do, and I don't. I think
because
that's
he
so
respects
great.
the game
Yeah.
like no other.
So
Yeah.
I have a trivia. Okay, the Euro step. Everyone thinks that Ginobili brought it to the league. Someone else did.
I thought he
Obviously,
did bring-
Ginobili popularized it and made it. You know, I'll give you a hint. The reason I know this is because I was cheering for this team. He was on the Warriors. You're too young.
I might be too young. Here, give me one more hint. I'll see if I can.
I don't know. I thought it was Ginobili that brought it.
No. Okay.
Do you remember Sharunas Marciulionis?
I don't.
Okay, well, he was
Because
the
I'm a
one who
young
brought
kid.
it to the Warriors. He
Wow,
played with Mitch
good
Richmond
one.
and Chris
Yeah.
Mullin, and so it was always funny because everyone always said Ginobili
Yes.
brought it to. I'm like, no, Sharunas
I
Marciulionis
was in that
brought it,
boat.
and I knew because I was cheering for the Warriors when he was on the team. But
Yes.
and then Ginobili is what made it popular. And
Well,
he's
how
been
could
cool.
Ginobili bring the Euro step?
Right?
Right.
I love that's a
But-
great fun fact.
But you know how people. think
Yeah,
it's- some people think Ginobili like made it up. I'm like, no.
No.
And Marissa can show that the Spurs did a really cool tribute. They've been doing tributes obviously for all day yesterday, but they showed this of him, the Euro step.
It's a really incredible move.
Oh, it
really
is.
is.
And it was
It really
incredible
Because you
to
go
see.
one way and then you go another.
It's incredible to see.
it's like
James
the
Harden.
hockey version of deking, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
It is. It's
just-
a hockey.
I love
It's a
it.
deke, and it's
Yeah.
incredible to see James Harden implemented in his game.
Oh yeah.
Because him and Manu have a little bit of history, so like.
I loved watching Ginobili play.
Sure.
Every time he was in the game, he just gave it his
That's
all, and he was just. People couldn't, even at 40, they couldn't stop him when
And
he went
he-
through the lane.
No,
like,
absolutely. He just drove. Yeah, he drove. He was
And he
fast.
wasn't those players who went to 50 different teams, and that
And he
makes
w-
no sense. But you know what I mean?
And,
It's a
and he
hyperbole.
made the Euro step. It was pretty. You know,
was.
It's like a ballet.
yeah, exactly. Listen to
Listen
the
to the
music.
music.
Right. I've got ballet on the brain. Well, and like I was saying before the show, like the outpour of just everyone has been so heartwarming and
From
proves
all over the league.
Yeah,
and,
proves how strong
and
he is.
Athletes outside of NBA have been saying, "I enjoyed watching you play," and it was. I mean, if just
it
being,
proves his impact on
Right.
the league, and it will.
But I
forever.
do wonder. I don't know if they've talked about what he will do post career. Is he just going to spend time with family?
don't know.
Go back to Argentina and just he's royalty there.
Well, of course, he represented his country
right.
so well.
Yeah.
Like he's one of
Or-
the main athletes of Argentina. I mean, for basketball, he was like the face of
Right.
Argentina.
Yeah.
Or does he go on air? Does he do the Euro games there on air? There's so many things he can do.
Yeah, on the broadcaster side, that could
Right.
be.
That's
that
the
could be fun.
great thing, though, is he has so many paths open that he can do even after playing, and that's I think is amazing for a lot of people NBA players who retire,
Sure.
and just all athletes who retire, and they have like so many open, like Tony Romo. Like Tony Romo went into broadcasting.
Tony Romo's really good.
Who's
though.
a really good
Whether you don't like him
broadcaster.
or not, he's actually really good.
And
in
he
the
was
booth.
predicting all those plays, and he became a hit. And
Quarterbacks are usually very good in the booth, though.
Yeah.
oh, because they see the game like no
That's
other.
exactly. Just
sure.
like how catchers always make great skippers because they see the game. So, but I could see. I mean, maybe not in the U.S., but can't you see him doing something
I so
possibly
could.
in
I so-
Argentina? Or is he one of those that's going to be like a Manny Pacquiao because he's royalty and he's going to be in Argentina and he's going to run for like
Office.
could.
Yeah, he'll do
politics.
something. Yeah.
Depends if he's like
He very
super
well could.
political there. I mean, he's so good.
Yeah, so it's sad to see him go, but future Hall of Famer. Obviously, we will see him
absolutely.
being enshrined,
Oh, of
and
course.
yeah. So, other than that, we've got baseball. Obviously, people are now head to head going for these pennant races. It was crazy to see. I thought the Astros, how they just routed over the A's. I mean, just destroyed them. I mean, they are really in championship form.
They are. but
Astros,
the-
and it always are. It is hard, to go back to back as we know, but they look good.
They look real good, but the A's they're scary.
I know, but the Houston made them look like they weren't the A's that they have been. But the way that how many games they won in a row, the A's, it's
That was
crazy.
incredible.
They're what are they at? 40 or 79? 49? 79?
I think we're about.
79?
I don't.
I know for a fact is they
You can
are
look it up.
Yeah.
neck and neck with the Astros.
I thought they were at 50, but
at
maybe
the
they're wrong.
top of the AL West, and they were under the Angels like earlier in the
Right.
season. And, the Angels had a bunch of injuries. I will continue to say that.
Well,
for
I
as
say that
long
on
as
my
I
Giants
live.
too. That's my crutch. I always
Exactly,
say.
that's my-
I'll just say injuries.
That's my crutch,
But
too.
then you look at a lot
Sorry.
of teams; they all have injuries.
Yeah.
It's crazy because in the beginning of the season, me and Becky had our other host at the time. We ended up kind of going through our predictions, and I had said the Nationals and the Yankees for the World Series. Nationals may not even make the playoffs.
Well, no Nats. The Nats aren't
which is
gonna
so
do what you
which
think
is
they're
so
gonna do.
crazy. You
Yeah.
look at their pitching staff, and so it's just crazy in baseball. You know, and
because
no
they have
idea.
Scherzer and Harper, and you think that's championship, but no, it's not.
Yeah.
Because there are teams. Baseball's about being well-rounded and not just having stars. I mean, the Angels, they've been trying. I know they had the injuries, which I will continue to just lean back on. But just Mike Trout, or like Mike Trout, maybe with like Upton not providing enough help and Pujols not providing enough help. Mike Trout maybe on the pitching side. Shohei Ohtani now, Garrett Richards, that's not nearly enough
Right.
for teams like the Astros who have like Verlander
And
and
it's
Keuchel
such a
and Cole.
long season. You got to keep
162 games.
your bullpen fresh.
Yeah, they're
You gotta-
79.
There he is. And like-
the Athletics are
and-
at 79.
They're at 79 now.
Right underneath the Astros, 81.
And if you know from a couple years ago, the A's weren't as good as they are now. They
No.
when they had Yoenis Cespedes and guys like that, they were really up here, and then they just kind of.
And then the A's, they're notorious for trading away their good players,
Of
and
course.
they haven't done that, which is shocking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be getting diving more into baseball as we get close to
Postseason's
division
coming
race.
It's so
around.
exciting,
And-
though. This is why we love sports. It's like teams
Yeah.
nobody was talking about, like the A's, are just like
It's the old school.
slaying
It's
it.
the old school pennant chase.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
just trying to get that pennant. It's
Yeah,
amazing to watch.
and it makes it fun.
It's the spirit of
You know?
baseball. Pennant
So
chase.
I mean, now it's hard. It's a cat and dog fight, and we'll see what happens because a lot of those are tight. Especially
Very
it's not
tight.
even really the division races that are tight; it's the wild card spots that are tight.
Those are the hard because
You know?
everyone eventually the divisions get locked up, but fighting because it's two spots.
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
two spots.
And sometimes those two spots will end up in the same division. So they have
Exactly.
three.
You can have three
it's
from
crazy.
the same division.
So so we will see how that kind of all lays out coming soon. And then next week we'll be talking because there's NFL cuts. Down a 53-man roster. So after this last preseason,
It's about that time of year.
games, that's it. And then we're ready for football.
Oh
So-
my gosh,
back.
Which is so exciting.
football, hockey, basketball. I am ready.
No
And then it
better
gets
time in
super
the year.
exciting when you're in October and all the sports are back.
Just you can 4 sports just right there. You can watch them all back to back.
Oh
to
my
back
god,
to
I'm gonna
back.
have no life. I'll be in front of a TV.
So we will be back the same time, same place. And we finally, I know we've been saying this, but we'll finally be making this announcement next week on what's going on new with this show. And that's it, but we'll be talking a lot of NFL.
Yeah,
That will be
NFL's
the-
gearing up.
Yeah, and thank you for joining the chat. You guys are amazing. Star
So-
Drew thinks your Giants still have a chance.
Oh, no, they don't. But he's so
He's
sweet.
hoping.
He's sweet.
He's doing.
nice.
That's like one of those. Like you feel bad for
He
me.
wants,
Yeah.
he wants to root for you.
Okay, well, that's sweet. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the Weekly Pass. I'm BonnieJill Laflin. Thank you to my amazing co-host. We'll be back, and catch us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook,
Yes.
everything, and we'll talk sports anytime, any day,
That's right.
So
course.
Every hour.
hit us up. All right,
Ciao.
until next time, see ya.
See y'all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Buzz you later.
Hearing are those of the hosts only, do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.